Now, there have already been quite a few exciting bits of news from Renault India in 2026, but it's only going to go further and further from there. And today we're celebrating a little reintroduction to the Renault Kwid. And with me, I have Francisco Hidalgo, who's the VP of Sales and Marketing for Renault India, just to tell us more about the Kwid and what's changed and what's in store ahead. Francisco, hi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So thank you for having us here. It's good to see the Kwid back again. We've really grown to know it and love it over the last 11 years. But I also understand that this is a segment that's a lot of people are forgetting about, but it's still a very important segment, and definitely good to see Renault sticking with it and pursuing the segment some more. So tell us a little bit about how you see this segment and why it's so important in India.
It's a very important segment because it's the one that allows quite a lot of people to buy a car for the first time.
Yeah.
In India, in the last few years, there has been a race for more features, new technology, and more safety, which is great, but that has made the cars quite expensive. And there are just a big bunch of people in India who cannot follow that price. And that's why we feel that this segment still makes sense. And the Kwid that made such a big impact 11 years ago when it was launched, it still has something meaningful to say. And that's why we are here today.
No, and that, sorry, going back to what you just said, that's very important. Like the Duster did when it originally came around, and like the Triber did as well. The Kwid in between created something new. It was at the time the first of its kind, and it really sort of re-envisioned what people thought of an affordable small car. Do you think that's true today, and it also embodies that sort of aspirational value?
I think it's as true today as it was 11 years ago. I think people want to buy a small car. Also, they want to look at the money that they pay. But it's not because you buy an affordable car that you don't want to have a SUV. You don't have to you cannot have a beautiful car. You don't want to have some features. And that was the promise that Kwid made 11 years ago. And that's the promise that we are updating today with a fresher design, still very strong personality, with a very clear to choose variants, with very clear and visible value, with a very attractive price, and then with the possibility to buy it at the dealership or even to buy it online with even better conditions.
So yeah, actually, that's a very important thing. So tell us more about your strategy for the refresh, so to speak, and what's new for the Kwid. I think it's also not just about the price, but also the simplification of the choice.
For these kind of customers, they want things to be value to be visible and straightforward. So we have worked on the design of the car. We have integrated the new brand identity on the front face, on the back, on the wheels, on the steering wheel. That's something that we owe to this car to make it full member part of the Renault family. We've been working on the variants. Sometimes things and OEMs, and I take my part of responsibility, we make it too complicated. A lot of variants, people don't know what to choose. So now we made it very simple. Two variants. Variant Evolution, that's the essential variant. It has absolutely everything that you need for the best price. And another variant, which is more aspirational, it's called Climber. It has everything in it, in design, in features, for still a very, very affordable price. 4.99 lakh for the top variant when you buy it online. I think, and I'm convinced that it's the better value for money that you can get in the market.
No, absolutely. And so also this is the first time you can order the Kwid online.
It's the first time you can order the Kwid online. I think it will make it people easy to choose, but also to understand when you buy a car for the first time, there is a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
Do I go there? Am I going to negotiate? Are they going to give me the right price? Are they going to cheat on me? There is this kind of things that still remain in people's mind when you're buying a car for the first time. We are making it fully transparent. Very easy. What you see is what you get. This is the final price. No surprise, no hidden surprises.
No, and also an important thing you said about the customer of the Kwid is very different from the aspirational customers that are perhaps moving into things like the Kiger and the Triber. A Kwid customer is perhaps somebody who's moving up from a two-wheeler.
Yeah.
And so I think this sort of value proposition is far more important to someone like that, you think?
Yeah, because when you're moving from a two-wheeler, when you don't have so much money, people will say that you can pay 1 more lakh and you get more features or a bigger car. But 1 more lakh makes a massive difference for quite a lot of people. 1 more lakh is the difference between being able to buy a car and not being able to buy a car. So that's why we were really using the price as the entry point. This is the price point that we want to get. Usually in the industry, we do it different. We put features in the car and then we say, okay, how much does it cost? How much can I price it?
Yeah.
Here we didn't do it wrong. This is the price. Let's see what we can do and how we manage to give a super value proposition, but respecting the price.
Oh, that's excellent. And I mean, also essential, like you said, in this very, very price sensitive segment that it is. And finally, just a little word on the industry as a whole. As I think you showed us, there's been a big shift in the last 11 years since the Kwid has been around. I mean, uh, hatchbacks are now small, SUVs are sort of growing up. What do you think it will take to sort of do you think there's been a shift now, especially with things like the GST revision of Renault's model range? I think three models now have benefited from that.
Yeah.
You think that's seen a sort of revitalization of the small car?
Yes, I think GST reform has definitely pushed the industry. I think for the moment, because of the evolution where the small segment car is decreasing, I think the evolution has been more into customers getting more for the same money than about new customers being able to buy cars for the first time.
Yeah.
I think that's what all of us were expecting to happen. It's not happening that much, but we really feel there is an opportunity there, and that's what we want to use it right now. We want to welcome customers to mobility for the first time and to the Renault family, because we know that if they are part of the family we treat them well, they will stay with us for a long term.
Absolutely, absolutely. And finally, I know today is all about the Kwid, but I also know that Renault has a lot in store. And I know you can't tell us too much about it just yet, but just a word to our viewers, what they can be excited for in the next 18 months. There's a lot coming.
I know Renault has been frustrating a little of people in the last few years from 20 to 25, not so many new launchings and everything like that. We've been working very hard on that. It's in the pipe and it's coming strong. I think the product offensive that Renault is bringing in the next 18 months is something that for sure has never been seen by Renault, probably by not too many OEMs in India. So many things. There will not be more than 2 months on a row without something significant coming from Renault. Call it a limited edition, call it a design refreshment, call it a new gearbox, or a new engine, or a new technology, or a full new car, or maybe several full new cars in just 18 months. So what I can tell you and tell everybody is like, stay tuned. It's going to be very exciting times coming from Renault. But today, please, is the first time we can talk about Kwid, talk about people who buy a car for the first time. And for us, it's a very privileged moment to talk about it.
No, fantastic. So remember, guys, lots to come, but we haven't forgotten about the Kwid just yet. It's now celebrating its 11th birthday, and what an 11th birthday it is, still going very strong. So Francisco, thank you so much for
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming.